What if I told you there was the perfect fighting game? I'm talking a game with every possible archetype that you would want to play. A balanced roster with simple to play characters, but also really complex and in-depth ones. They have stories and personalities that will make you stand and ship all of them on twitor.com. Easy to pick up for new players, but there's a level of depth that will keep you grinding for days, weeks, months, even years, with beautiful graphics and animation. Not to mention, a mandatory for a good fighting game, rollback netcode. And just as the cherry on top, this entire fighting game is completely free, with no microtransactions or predatory business models. You would call me a liar. I would be hurt. I would need to seek therapy for a couple of weeks as my trust is destroyed after you did not believe me. My friends and family would have to comfort me in my time of need, and I would be so confused because all I ever wanted to do was share the greatness that is Ultra Fight the Kyanta 2. Rad Chad, what the fuck is this game? You ask, crawling back to me like a mewling, starving kitten. Ultra Fight the Kyanta 2 it's a hard game to describe. You really need to experience it. This game is like if someone shitposted an entire fighting game. And I don't mean like Mugen or Rivals of Aether where it's got Germa, you've got overpowered Ronald McDonald. It's not like the Among Us fighting game where it's just an entire playable joke. No, this is an entire fighting game. It has tier lists, matchups, in-depth mechanics. There's even tournaments and high-level players for this game. And it's still being updated to this day, but it looks like this. And it sounds like this. And it plays like this. Now, I know this is a lot to take in, but bear with me. I will be your guide into the magical world of Ultra Fight the Kyanta 2. But for now, I am Rad Chad, the Mad Lad. And to some of you, your dad. And welcome to the greatest free fighting game you've never played. A fun fact, if you subscribe while watching a YouTube video, it actually shows up on my analytics. So, if you subscribe on this video, it will let me know you want more content like this. So that was a subtle hint that you should subscribe. Oh, by the way, if you're down there, why don't you like as well? It'll be kind of cool. I don't know. You scratch his back of head, farts aggressively. Now, before starting this project, I didn't expect how much of a rabbit hole I was going to stumble into. Now, I'm not one to do research often. I'm not one to think often, actually. But as I delved into the creator of Ultra Fight the Kyanta 2, what I found was a man who rivaled the likes of Daisuke and is my spirit animal. I love this man. And who is this man? Well, there's one person behind Ultra Fight the Kyanta 2, Harama Self. This one person who does the programming, the character designs, the art, the sound effects, the music, literally everything about this game is made by Harama Self. It is all him. And Harama Self himself, just like his game, is a very interesting character. So, before we can talk about Ultra Fight the Kyanta 2, we need to talk about Harama Self. Let me convey to you the journey I took with Harama Self. The first thing I found out about him is that he had a YouTube channel with around 600 subscribers. Now, I'm gonna put that YouTube channel in the description because please subscribe to this man. He is beautiful and fantastic. So on his YouTube channel, he posts music and he does tournaments of Ultra Fight the Kyanta 2 and he does live streams with his friend Zaki Wild. I mentioned music just then. His music are bangers. You're probably listening to it in the background right now. If I had to say what my favorite one is, I'd probably have to say Naughty Cat Telephone Shocking. Now, quickly as an aside, the reason why a lot of stuff made by Harama may have weird titles is because everything he does is put through Google Translate to do English localization. Also, he sometimes uploads videos like this. After going onto his YouTube channel, I was already beginning to get endeared by this beautiful man. But then I saw in his links a website. And I was like, yes, now I can get a little more information, see what other websites he's on, maybe we'll have like a little bit of a link tree. I was not prepared for what this link would do to me. Just witness. This is the first image I saw after opening the website.
official homepage of Harama Self. Stupid. I look forward to working with you in 2022, you idiot.
This man is unparalleled. Every single title section on this page ends with you idiot or stupid. It's beautiful. I love this person. On the website, we've got a lot of stuff because Harama Self does a lot of stuff. This guy is a jack of all trades and a master of some of them, not all of them. He's got a bunch of links to other websites like his Twitter, his Bandcamp, his DeviantArt, but he also has cataloged everything he's made basically. So he's got games on this website. He's got his manga. There is a lot here. I wish I could cover all of it, but I am horrifically lazy. I'm just going to mainly cover what's important to Ultra Fight to Counter 2, but I deeply implore you to visit the website itself. I will put it in the description and just explore the majesty of this man. We will go over what is important to Ultra Fight to Counter 2, starting with what's in his games. You might notice that 4 out of these 5 have the word Kanoko in them. Well, that's because they all follow this interesting character, Kanoko. Remember that name for later on. Booting up the first game, simply titled Kanoko in all lowercase, what you will find is a Charlie's first video game that they made on Scratch. It's just a simple game where you play as this little mushroom girl where you move them left and right to dodge rocks falling while trying to pick up mushrooms. When I was playtesting this game, I accidentally, I didn't accidentally lose. I purposefully lost, and then this happened. Listen, I said so much good stuff about you, and you dared jump scare me in my time of greatest vulnerability. Now, LSI Kanoko, I didn't know how to get that one to work, so I just kind of skipped over it. But Kanoko Tower, it's still got the Kanoko character, and you're trying to make a tower of Kanokos without having them fall off. Now, I was bracing myself for a jump scare when I almost lost this game, but luckily, Haramasa, just like me, tries to put jump scares when you least expect them. They could come at any time right now, even. Anyway, continuing on with the boo! Gotcha, scared ya. Bitch. So these next 2 games, Hisomi Crash and Merry Xmas Kanoko, they were made after Ultra Fight to Counter 2. Hisomi Crash just basically rips Ultra Fight to Counter 2 assets and remakes it to make Toss the Turtle. In Merry Xmas Kanoko, you have to select the right Kanoko, which correlates with the top right Kanoko. Whenever you select the correct Kanoko, they go, you are Kanoko. That'll make a little more sense later on. So that is it with the video game. But moving on to his manga. Now with his manga, we can see that there's quite a few actual inspirations for the characters in Ultra Fight to Counter 2. We see the crocodile appear in his longer running than most of them Azuma Daka revival. There's an orc and an elf which show up in Ultra Fight to Counter 2 that show up in their manga Rogue Life, and we also even see the Kyanta himself. I also just wanted to quickly mention, I love some of these manga. Listen, it was a little hard to read them because they're all in Japanese, so I only liked the ones I liked based on vibes. For instance, this was one with a chicken, right? And when it gets shocked, it turns into a JPEG, and that shit just cracked me up. And the other one which I really liked, one named Theme Park. There was a girl skeleton that reminded me of my own OC, which I made all by myself. I was like, damn, they just copied me in the past. And also, it included my favorite character because he is the only character in all of this manga that spoke English.
I'm a knight to protect the princess. It might be useless, so it happened to accumulate depressed. I want to protect her just for single-minded that much. I'm a knight to protect the princess.
As with many of Haramasa's work, he obviously put that through Google Translate. Hey, this is Future Rad. I just wanted to mention one more thing about Haramasa before we move on. This man is based as fuck. So I was looking through his stuff. I found some new factoids. The first one being that Kyanta, the main star of Ultra Fight to Kyanta, is a they-them. I learned the fact that they were a they-them after I recorded this video, so I may use the wrong pronouns throughout, but that's because I had no idea yet. The other neat thing I found was this image. This man is a legend. Oh my god. The power, the absolute raw energy of this. It is unfathomable. Keeping in mind all of that, here's back to Rad Shed in the past. So that's a gist of what we need to know for Ultra Fight to Counter 2 with Haramasa's previous work. But as I said before, check this stuff out. It is beautiful. But let us finally jump into Ultra Fight to Kyanta 2. Hey, wait a second. Wait, where's Ultra Fighter Kyanta 1? Looking through all of his catalog, there's no mention of Ultra Fighter Kyanta 1. It's just not here. Did he make the second game and not make a first one? I don't understand. Where is it? I've looked everywhere. Now listen, with fighting games, I like to be funny man with fighting games. I am not good man. Listen, if you want a good player at fighting games, go watch Backpack here. Go watch like Hitachi. So when I'm here explaining the mechanics, know that I am very zero brain. I just read a little bit online and I have a very surface level understanding of the in-depth mechanics of this game, but I'll try my best to introduce you so that you have an understanding as we explore this game. If you've played Skullgirls or Melty Blood, choosing a character may seem quite familiar to you. And if you haven't, so you can choose from 1 to 3 characters. The more characters you have, the more your health is split between those characters. You will have to play those characters in order of the ones you choose. When one dies, you then play the next one. Every single character has 2 different possible supers they can choose from. Then you choose your type. There is stamina, which increases your max HP, speed, that increases your speed. Whoa, who saw that one coming? EX, which allows you to use your super at 3/4 of your gauge. Then there's a bit of some silly ones, some funny ones. Super increases your health and speed, but you can no longer use your super. Demon mode, which allows you to use gauge costing special moves for free when you activate it. Think of it like the Persona 4 Arena shadow mechanic, if you've played Persona 4 Arena. If you haven't played Persona 4 Arena, and finally, my favorite, parry increases your health and gauge on a perfect block, but you cannot block anymore. So, every single time someone attacks you, you have to perfect block it. Other than this, for the most part, Ultra Fighter Kyanta 2 plays like a normal fighting game. You have your light and heavy attacks, then you have your special attacks that are unique to your character, then you've got your EX attacks, which cost gauge but are stronger than normal attacks, or might be quite unique, and then you've got your perfect blocking, your roaming cancels, your air attacks, your blah, 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 blah. Video games, am I right? However, some fun notable features. First is you can buffer your attacks by holding down the button, so your strings are insanely easy to do. You can also just straight up walk through your opponent. So, I don't know, mix them up by just walking leisurely past them. And also, taunting actually does something in this. Depending on your character, it might increase your gauge by a full bar, or might be an attack in of itself. So, it's not a very complicated game, and if you've played any fighting game before, you'll feel quite comfortable playing this game. The only real thing you need to get your head around is the choosing your character, which honestly, I just suggest choosing stamina for you when you're choosing a style, and for the characters, choose whoever looks funniest to you, and you will have a good time. And talking about who looks funniest, let's talk about the roster. As of right now, there are a whopping 30 playable characters, and this roster is still being added to. You've got your archetypes like it's Shotos and trap characters. Oh, talking about this trap character with the crocodile. When he wins, he eats his gun. No.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Set it up.
Evidently, you've been outsmarted. Before we continue, I should probably mention, one of the best parts about this game is the round win screen. And no matter who you're playing, the round win screen, everyone wins. The most pristine art and the most beautiful win screen quotes. Here's some now. Michelle.
There is not a witch character in this game.
This is fucked up.
Over
already? I'm disappointed. Dude, that wasn't good for you too. God.
For an entire 60
It's
seconds.
just in Japanese.
We've chosen English and it's still Japanese for this guy. So continuing on with the roster, you've got your like grapplers. This grappler right over here, he's got super armor as one of his supers. So imagine if Potemkin's like charge was constant and you could just walk up to your opponent and grab them. We also have just straight up Akuma. That is Akuma. He has the raging, the angry attack, the angry punchy attack. Unfortunately, and I know if this is a deal breaker to some people, and if it is a deal breaker to you, I completely understand. This isn't your fighting game. This roster does include the French, and I know that some people just can't play a game if the French are in them. So many people couldn't play Guilty Gear Strive because Kai was French, and that's completely understandable. So if that's a turn off for you, don't play this game, okay? Don't play this game. My personal main is
Well done. done.
And well done, while looking like a big man, is actually just the most horrific zoner you've ever seen. He just shoots you constantly. That his entire gameplay is just shooting across the screen. I really broke some friendships with that one. You know, maybe people would like me more if I wasn't a zoner. While we have the normal archetypes that you'll be quite used to, we have some very unique characters as well, such as the Dr. K. That's right, Dr. K from Healthy Gamer. There he is. It's GG. It's Guy. Hey, Dr. K, how do I be happy? Can you explain that one to me, libtard? So, as Dr. K, you're able to affect your opponent in very unique ways. For instance, you can swap between pills. Some of them give your enemies debuffs, while some of them give your enemies buffs. You can also use a special move to make your enemy forced to jump constantly. I want the stuff this guy's taking, you know what I mean? You might even recognize some familiar faces from what we've seen before. Like, hey, it's the orc and the elf from that one manga we saw before. And holy shit, what? That's Zaki Wild. Okay, if you've forgotten, Zaki Wild is the guy Harama Self does live streams with on his YouTube channel to this day. Imagine you had just a mate, right? You just had a friend, your friend Brig, and he's like, hey, it's me, Brig. Can you put me in your video game? And you're like, yeah, mate, I'm gonna put you in my video game, Brig. And then you put it's your boy Brig in the video game. That is essentially what Harama Self did here. We've covered some interesting characters in this game, but none of them quite stand up to the best character in this game, with a moveset that is so unique, and yet it's so simple. Let me introduce you to the best character in Ultra Fight to Counter 2, and they are a mushroom. Then it dawns on you. It's them. To truly understand the majesty of Kanoko, we need to visit what is essentially her Dustloop page. Kanoko, one of the hardest characters, hiding behind a facade of rockfall memes. Cons: genuinely no neutral, no reversal / ground options, no taunt bonus at all, 0 mix. And now you might be saying, aha, a joke character, I see. So they're not good at all. To the contrary, they're an A tier. Now you might be a bit confused. Why are they so good if they have literally nothing in their moveset? Well, there's 3 reasons for this, and the last reason is the main one. But first, Kanoko has very good mobility. They can teleport anywhere on the screen, and they can just live in the sky. And then you also have mushrooms around the battlefield that you can pick up. Remember the mushrooms from her game Kanoko, which jump scared me? So you can pick up these mushrooms, and they give you an entire bar of super meter. There's 2 supers Kanoko can choose from. The first should look familiar. It's Rockfall. Remember Rockfall from that fucking game that Harasama jump scared me with? So Rockfall is a meme. And if you just want to have a funny time with Kanoko, you should choose this one. So basically, when you use it, rocks fall from the sky, and they don't only hurt your opponent, they also hurt you. However, if you actually want to play Kanoko, you have to choose the other super, which is the grab. This grab is a grab that even Potemkin himself would fear. A grab that Iron Tiger stays up at night about. A grab that makes Waldstein never want to leave the comfort of delayed base netcode. This grab, when you use it, it lasts for several seconds, and if your opponent is so unlucky to accidentally stumble into this, they get yeeted into the stratosphere. It does a big chunk of your health, and if you know how to play Kanoko, this converts into a touch of death. But not only that, remember what I said about the mushrooms? She can get super meter by picking up these mushrooms, meaning you just need to pick up a mushroom and you can use an instant kill. So Kanoko is basically an literal all or nothing. You have nothing, and this one move is your all. She is by far one of my most favorite design characters because it is so stupidly simple, and yet it is the funniest shit. And if you get a round win with her, you say the most legendary quote: "We finally win with the
Fucking
mushroom!"
rocks. Fucking rocks, holy shit.
You are Kanoko.
I hope that you've been convinced to play this beautiful game, and I haven't even scratched the surface of the majesty of it. It is really something you have to go in and play yourself. I have tried not to give too much away about it because there's still a lot to experience with not only the game, but Harama Self himself. And while I blew smoke up his ass, the truth is, his work is far from perfect, especially his music. I was going to use his music as background for this video, but it was so hard to listen to that I just had to change it for like Undertale. Except for Naughty Cat Telephone Shocking. Naughty Cat Telephone Shocking is a banger. But what I love about Harama Self is that he just makes stuff. All kinds of stuff. Quality be damned, as long as it's fun and entertaining, and as long as he's making what he wants to make, that's all that matters to him. And I feel that so deeply in my soul. It's my whole philosophy for this channel. I might not have the cleanest drawings or the greatest edited videos, but I just make what I like to make, and entertaining for you, that's all that matters. Heck, this video you're watching right now, I put more effort into it than any other video on this channel, and it is so likely to flop, because, like, who's ever heard about this game before? I just wanted to make it. And that's all that really matters. So thank you for watching to the end of this, because not everyone did. And if you enjoyed what you saw from Harama Self, check his stuff out. Support his passion, because he deserves it. And play Ultra Fight to Kyanta 2, because it's the best free fighting game you're about to play.